Hello and welcome to UK Gaming Network. I'm Brian, also known as UK Gen Zoidberg, and this is Best 10, where I offer up my favourite games to fit a selected theme. In this video, I'm going to count down my favourite games from the year that I finished high school, the same year that England were knocked out of the World Cup at the semi-final stage, and the best film that I saw in the cinema was Total Recall. Shut up, it was. I am, of course, talking about 1990. There's no particular reason why I chose this year over any others. I simply picked a year at random and went with it. I wonder what year I will do next. Maybe viewers could suggest a year in the comments and I'll do the one that gets mentioned the most. As always, the ranking in this video is merely my own personal opinion and just a bit of fun. It's perfectly fine if you disagree with my choices. I'd love to know what your favourite games are in the comments. Enough waffle though, let's get to the games. Starting with my number 10. Despite appearances, this game is not called X-Out. It's actually pronounced Cross-Out, as a handy piece of speech points out during the animated intro. Why was the sequel called Z-Out then? That's probably a debate for another video. By placing the action underwater, it instantly gave this a different look and feel to other side-scrolling shooters that were around at the time. There may only be 5 levels, but it's extremely challenging, and it encourages you to keep playing by offering a unique weapon system for you to experiment with different loadouts each time. The soundtrack, by Chris Hulsbeck, is an absolute belter too. To fully understand how good Ocean France's conversion of Pang was on release, you really have to compare it to the other arcade conversions that were appearing on the Amiga at the time. Most were lazy and forgettable, like UN Squadron, Line of Fire or Galaxy Force 2. This, on the other hand, was as close to arcade perfect as you could get, and like the best arcade games, there's a hidden depth to it that keeps you coming back for more. It's got fast-paced, simple but addictive gameplay, a great manga-style look, and a whopping 50 stages for you to try and battle your way through, either on your own or with a co-op partner. People may mock the fact that Indianapolis 500 is essentially the art of turning left at speed, but few could argue that this isn't incredibly compelling, especially on the harder difficulties. Mouse control allows for driving precision, and the 3D graphics are super slick throughout. This was one of the first games that I remember having a TV replay option, and it was always fun to watch back the carnage after causing a huge pile-up. The only reason that this game is this far down the list is because it's just the one track. It would have been so incredible to see what Papyrus could have done with a full season of IndyCar on the Amiga, because on this evidence, it would have been right up there with No Second Prize and Formula 1 Grand Prix. Think of Panzer Kickboxing more as a simulation game than your typical fighter. Winning a bout is more about tactical thinking and timing than it is brute strength, and ultimately this makes the game far more rewarding in the long term. The optional training between fights seems like a fun little mini-game at first, but you soon realise that you'll need to master each discipline if you're going to be able to progress and take on the elite fighters. The fighters themselves are incredibly well animated too, with nicely thought out controls offering a good quantity of moves that you can perform. Of course, you can simply plug in 2 joysticks and fight against friends as well, and have fun doing so, but it's as a solo game that it truly excels. If you'll forgive me, this entry is going to be a bit of a cheat, as I'm going to give it to both Player Manager and Kickoff 2. Player Manager took the game engine from the original Kickoff and made it the match day section of a surprisingly deep management game, and one that I remember playing for weeks on end when I first got it. There's no multiplayer though, and that's where Kickoff 2 comes in. It revised and improved the basic gameplay and added the incredible aftertouch feature, allowing you to score spectacular swerve drives that would make David Beckham proud. Playing alone? Player Manager. Playing against friends? Kickoff 2. It's that simple. Dino Dini really spoilt us in 1990. The Lotus trilogy are definitely amongst the greatest racing games on the Amiga, although it must be said, each one of the 3 games has a standout feature over the other 2, and something about them that's disappointing. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge is the one that has the best structure, offering 3 difficulties of championship over 32 brilliantly designed circuits, and it makes for an extremely satisfying challenge. The only downside is the lack of full screen play, even in single player, with half the screen dedicated to an admittedly very well drawn side-on view of the car. As a 2-player game though, it cannot be topped, and this was a go-to game for me and my brother for many months after release. Cinemaware games are all about capturing the atmosphere and feel of their subject matter, whether that's a 1950s B-movie creature feature or a 1940s adventure serial. Wings might just be their best achievement though, perfectly placing you in the role of a rookie World War I fighter pilot. The presentation is first class throughout, with well-written diary pages telling of the day-to-day life on the base, all help drawing you in. The dogfights themselves are tense and thrilling, and there's a sense of relief every time you successfully return home. Equally, the loss of a pilot is absolutely devastating, with their name remaining crossed out on the roster for the remainder of your game. It's one of those titles that you'll find yourself returning to every few months just for another go. I think we all take Prince of Persia for granted these days, but I can still remember just how it felt seeing it in motion for the first time. No game character had ever moved with such realism and grace, and my jaw was on the floor. What we didn't know at the time was how timeless the animation techniques used would turn out to be. Seeing the prince run, jump, fight and climb will always be incredibly pleasing on the eye, and the use of music at key moments makes the whole thing feel very cinematic. None of that would matter without the excellent puzzle and level design though, and I'm still trying to achieve a perfect run through the entire game all these years later. Better make sure you have an auto-fire on your joystick before you load up Turrican, otherwise you'll be developing blisters on your fingers in no time. Thankfully, this is something that recent re-releases of the game, like the one on Evercade, have rectified. There's a reason why this series is so revered among Amiga fans, and that's because it's a great looking, supremely playable and addictive blaster, with another brilliant Chris Hulsbeck soundtrack. It perfectly laid the foundation for a sequel that built upon everything to even greater levels of excellence, although it must be said that some of the level design here is actually better. Many people have tried to top it over the years, but the simple fact of the matter is that Speedball 2 is the greatest futuristic sports game ever created. Even the Bitmap brothers themselves have had numerous attempts to recapture the magic and failed. The original game from 1988 had been enjoyable, but the developer took everything that was good about it and made it great. Dan Malone's graphics are superb, and no matter how frantic the action gets, you can clearly see what's going on. Getting the ball into the opponent team's goal is obviously your main objective, but by offering other ways to score points, including injuring opposition players, it will keep you playing forever and ever and ever.
Get ready. Ready.
So those were my best 10 Amiga games released in 1990. Did I include your favourite? Maybe there's a game that you think I should have included. Please let me know what that is in the comments. If there's a specific year or system that you'd like to see me cover next in a video, why not join our Discord and pop your ideas in the game suggestion channel. You'll find the link to our Discord in the video description, along with details of how you can become a channel VIP for just £1.99 a month. And with that, you'll enjoy watching our videos as soon as they're uploaded. A full playlist of the best 10 series should be on screen now if you have missed any. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy retro gaming everybody. Bye for now.